Zynthar emerged from the sleek metallic vessel that hummed softly, its surface reflecting the vibrant colors of the bustling city around him. The alien anthropologist stood tall and slender, his shimmering azure skin catching the sun's rays as he took in the chaotic ambience of Earth. He had traveled from the tranquil planet of Qivara, a place known for its serene landscapes and peaceful inhabitants. Earth, in contrast, was alive with energy honking horns, the chatter of street vendors, and the rush of busy pedestrians all combined to create an overwhelming symphony. Navigating through the human throngs, Zynthar was equipped with advanced sensors that analyzed the surroundings with stunning precision. Millions of data points filled his mind, yet something about this place was different. The vibrant neon colors of advertisements, particularly one promoting turbo surge energy, captivated his attention. The brightly colored can promise boundless energy, and Zynthar, in his quest to understand human behavior and consumption, felt an irresistible pull towards it. He approached the buzzworthy drinks display, his elongated fingers brushing the cool surface of the gleaming can. To Zynthar, this was more than a drink, it was a key to unlocking a human experience that remained elusive. He examined the ingredients with curiosity, caffeine and taurine, vague hints of what they could do. Ignoring the warnings emblazoned about moderation, Zynthar decided that sampling this bizarre human creation would provide valuable insights. With the can now firmly in his grasp, he felt a surge of excitement. It was an act of cultural immersion, a step into the heart of human social dynamics. He quickly tilted the can and drank deeply, the flavor explosive and unfamiliar. Within moments, Zinthar's body began to vibrate uncontrollably as his highly sensitive nervous system reacted to the stimulating contents. What started as a minor tremble quickly escalated into a full-blown frenzy. Zinthar's deliberate movements transformed into erratic spins and hops, each motion fueled by the unrelenting surge of energy coursing through him. He felt like a cosmic pinball, ricocheting off walls and people alike. His mission to study and document human customs was slipping away, replaced by a frantic urge to move, to dance, to be in perpetual motion. As he dashed through the throngs of humans, Zynthar quickly discovered that his species metabolized stimulants at a painfully slow pace. The once joyful addition of human energy to his study now felt like a curse. He was trapped in a chaotic cycle of hyperactivity that would last for years, if not decades. Confusion struck him when flashing lights and loud sirens filled the air as Earth's defense satellites misinterpreted his movements as a hostile incursion. In a panic, he took refuge in an alley, aware that merely existing in this state could lead to his capture. His unique alien abilities, once a tool for observation, now felt like an overwhelming burden. As government agents combed the streets looking for a perceived threat, Zynthar needed to find a solution to the turmoil caused by his own curiosity. He started to connect random observations about human behavior to his predicament, realizing that humans often combined various substances to create tranquil states or resolve anxiety. With each darting movement, an idea formed in his hyperactive mind. Searching quick and quiet among street vendors, Zynthar finally stumbled upon a calming herb chamomile. An oddity, he thought, but perhaps it could be a starting point. Compounding that with the powerful gravitational anomalies of Earth might stabilize his frenzied state. With the flicker of an idea ignited, he redirected his hyperactive energy to gather the necessary items for this untested combination. Now, with a makeshift plan in hand, he had to tread carefully. His excitement surged alongside his anxiety as his chaotic journey evolved. There lay an incredible opportunity, not just to resolve his own crisis, but to understand the gravity of human consumption on an entirely new level. Would he succeed in calming his racing nerves before the agents found him? Only time would tell as he continued to zigzag through the bustling landscape, caught between sheer exhilaration and the looming threat of human misunderstanding. Zynthar darted through the vibrant streets of San Francisco, his mind racing faster than his legs could carry him. He dodged pedestrians and narrowly avoided bumping into an aggressive delivery robot that whirred past him. Bright holographic billboards flashed and announced specials on energy drinks and 2-for-1 meals from popular fast food chains, further fueling the chaotic sensory overload in his system. It felt as though the entire city echoed with the futility of his quest to engage in true human experience, yet the moment he tasted the energy drink, it all spiraled into a frenzied adventure. Realizing he couldn't keep running indefinitely, Zynthar ducked into a small cafe labeled Brewed, awakening the scent of freshly brewed coffee intermingled with the pungent aroma of spices drew him in. Inside, he spotted a group of people chatting at a long wooden counter, laptops open and steaming mugs in hand. He noticed a young woman with curly hair videoconferencing with someone on a sleek holographic screen. This would be a perfect place to regroup and formulate a plan. "Excuse me," he said, finally controlling the rapid vibrations coursing through him. "What is the best option here for calming oneself?" Surprisingly, his voice came out steady despite the residual energy still lingering. The woman paused her conversation and studied him for a moment before gesturing toward the counter. "Try the chamomile latte. It's relaxing and not too strong. Are you okay? You seem a bit hyper." "Hyper," he repeated, curious about the term. He quickly scanned his database but found no matching logs. It seemed the misunderstanding would deepen here. Clearly, hyper was not simply a state of excitement. Zynthar purchased the chamomile latte while trying to keep his movements relaxed. As he sipped the soothing drink, he began to feel a sense of balance returning. It was an interesting example of how human concoctions turned chaos into comfort. As he stood in the cafe, he overheard snippets of conversations. Two men debated the latest advancements in artificial intelligence, particularly a project related to neural synth technology capable of mimicking human emotions. Zinthar's interest piqued, reminding him of his own mission to study human interaction. Inspired, he wondered if he could apply this information toward a potential solution for their misunderstanding of him. Suddenly, he felt a familiar itch in the back of his mind. A hard rumble echoed, growing closer. A drone appeared outside the window, whirring and rotating, scanning the area. Zynthar recognized it right away, a UAA's Urban Autonomous Field Surveillance Unit, programmed to assess potential threats in real time. The energy drink debacle had drawn attention, and now the authorities were on high alert. "A quick exit seems prudent," he murmured to himself. He needed to think fast. If he were captured by the UAVs, he'd be confined a captive subject for humanity's showcase rather than the scientist he came to be. He quickly opened the window and climbed out onto the fire escape, scanning for his next move. Meanwhile, in the cafe, the young woman grabbed her phone and hurried after him. "Hey, are you okay?" she shouted, concern etched on her face. Zynthar paused, feeling gratitude swell within him. She had noticed him, a being so different from her, and had shown concern instead of fear. Before he could answer, the drone circled above him, a bright light illuminating his azure skin. Thinking quickly, Zynthar reached for a nearby dumpster to hide, but it was too late. The drone intercepted him with a loud, mechanical voice. "Subject identified. Engage capture protocol." As armed UAF's units sealed the area, Zinthar's mind raced for solutions. "Come with me if you want to stay out of trouble," the curly-haired woman suddenly called. She threw open a nearby door marked EMP room. Without thinking, he sprinted inside, narrowly escaping the pursuing drones. Inside the small, dimly lit room, she had already taken charge. "Okay, we need to block the drone signal," she said, pacing. "Do you have anything?" In that moment, Zynthar activated a small device on his wrist, a communication implementation module designed for gathering crowd sentiments. The module created disturbances in electromagnetic frequencies, which could disrupt communication signals. He hadn't planned to use it for this, but instincts kicked in. Here he stated as he pressed it towards her, watching her concern morph into understanding. "Wait, are you serious?" She sounded skeptical, but the proximity of noise outside left no room for doubt. "Must work quickly," he urged, feeling the tremors of urgency. Together they set the module to emit pulses that interfered with the drone's systems. The room rattled slightly as energy burst forth. Moments passed, tension thick in the air, and the drone's light flickered erratically outside. "Looks like it's working," she said, her voice blending joy with disbelief. Suddenly a loud crash reverberated through the cafe. The door to the EMP room burst open, revealing shadowy figures. The government agents had found them. With no time left, Zynthar sprinted toward the window, dragging the woman along with him. "Your technology is impressive, but we need to escape fast," he shouted as they propelled themselves outside, landing on an adjacent rooftop. "Who are you?" she gasped, eyes wide, still processing the chaos erupting around them. "I am Zynthar of Qivara. I came studying human nature, but miscalculations ensued. You are in danger by mere association." Her brow furrowed as the realization sunk in. "You're not even from here. Okay, that's going to take some time to process." The unyielding humming of drones approached again. Zynthar and the woman shared a look that transcended spoken words. It was a shared moment of tactical understanding. They had to play off each other's strengths. "Together, we can devise an escape. I know a hidden entrance into the city's transit network," she said, backing toward the edge of the rooftop. With the UAS closing in, they jumped seconds before a drone illuminated their former position. In another show of innovative problem-solving, they descended through a maintenance shaft leading them down to the underground transit platform, a place seeming untouched by human chaos above. Zynthar, now more attuned to both human customs and subtle cultural dynamics, felt the strain ease slightly, but new challenges still loomed. Trust had formed quickly between them, and he recognized that understanding each other's societies could create not just solutions but lasting peace. "Tell me about your world, Zynthar. I'd like to understand what you were aiming to learn by coming here," she asked, steady under the chaotic circumstances. "It is not knowledge but connection," he replied, sharing the truth of his intentions. "But it seems my journey is fraught with unpredictability and excitement." As the two prepared to navigate this new underground path, Zynthar contemplated the unexpected turns of events and possibilities ahead. Whatever advancements he had hoped to document had evolved into something much deeper, a genuine relationship forged in the fire of a shared challenge. Zynthar and the woman darted through the dimly lit underground transit station, the sounds of pursuit echoing above them. The relentless droning of the UAS's drones hummed ominously, searching for their lost target. Zinthar's heart raced as he realized how quickly his innocent curiosity had spiraled into chaos. He could feel the weight of every moment pressing on him. "What's our plan?" the woman asked, her eyes darting around frantically. "We must access the transit system," Zynthar replied, scanning the walls for an entrance. The glow of fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting eroded shadows that danced across the cold concrete. "There are augment technologies used to navigate underground. If we can reach one, we have a chance." She nodded, gripping a nearby control panel. "I can try to activate a transit module." Zynthar appreciated her resourcefulness, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they needed speed. "Distract the drones," he suggested. "I can help boost the signal and override him, but I need cover while I get to the main terminal." Right, she took a deep breath and focused. With surprising agility, she sprinted across the platform, waving her arms as she drew the attention of the approaching drones. Zynthar watched with admiration as she channeled the chaos into something purposeful. With the drones distracted, Zynthar activated his communication implementation module. Its glow intensified, casting blue light around the station. He connected to the transit system using a holographic interface, typing in complex commands as quickly as he could. Lines of code flickered before him, and he felt the exhilaration of controlling intricate technology. The drone's scanning lights flickered, adjusting their focus at the sight of her. With every second that passed, Zynthar pressed harder, channeling data through the interface. Suddenly, a burst of static crackled in his ear. Communication signals from the drones were teetering. "Come on, just a little longer," Zynthar hissed, lighting up his focus as he initiated a breach of the monitoring systems. He began rerouting drone signals while attempting to keep his own interferences hidden. The stakes were high. If they were detected, it would be over before they could escape. But just then, a flickering red alert signaled overhead. "Subject identified," a robotic voice announced, echoing across the station. Zinthar's heart sank. Their moment of distraction had come to an end. The drones were zeroing in on the woman. She kept dodging, ducking behind walls and side structures as Zinthar's heart raced in frustration. "Hurry," he called out. "I need that transit module activated now." "I'm trying," she shouted, eyes wide in determination. "Just give me A drone swooped down, its mechanical limbs reaching out to grab her. But she sidestepped just in time, and in the process, a nearby metal railing came crashing down onto the drone, causing a shower of sparks. Zynthar watched, both impressed and worried. The drone emitted an angry whir, momentarily distracted from scanning for him. Zynthar seized the opportunity and pushed through the last of the interface commands. Then the ground trembled underfoot. The transit system whirred to life, lights flashing. "It's activating," he exclaimed, a mix of relief and terror surging through him. Get in," she yelled, sprinting towards the shimmering portal that formed on the terminal's platform. Zynthar felt a rush of adrenaline as he joined her, but the moment they stepped through, alarms sounded like shrieking banshees. They entered a swirling tunnel filled with streams of light and colors, an incredible feat of human engineering buffered by layers of security. The woman smiled despite their dire circumstances, exhilarated by the sleekness of the technology around them. As they zipped through the tunnel, Zinthar's mind raced. He had just uncovered vital knowledge about human innovations, transit technology that manipulated space in ways Qivara never explored. This could alter his understanding fundamentally and provide a way to develop new pathways for gathering insights from humans. But as the tunnel narrowed, a new threat emerged. A larger drone with a surprising design suddenly intervened, its bright lights flooding the tunnel. "Target acquired," it shouted, its voice sharper and more mechanized than the others. Zynthar dove to the side, pulling the woman with him, but the drone was faster. It shot a pulse at them, and the energy crackled in the air, sending pain shooting through his arm. "Zynthar," she cried out, panic surging as she checked his injury. "I'm fine," he managed, clenching his teeth. "Secure the module. We need to divert it." Working together, they activated safety lockdowns within the transit system, rerouting the drone into an alternate shaft while desperately pushing buttons on scattered consoles. It hissed and exploded in annoyance but remained relentless in its pursuit. The transit portal granted future passage, but at that moment the first true realization of their abilities struck Zynthar. They were both mere humans and aliens trying to navigate new territories fraught with challenges in understanding technology and the threats posed by their own mistakes. "I've got an idea," the woman called suddenly, eyes lighting up as she formulated a solution. "If we can generate a localized EMP, we may disrupt its systems long enough to escape." Zynthar calculated their options. No matter how advanced their technologies were, they both faced limits. The EMP might be derived from either her handheld devices or his own, but could they make it in time? "Try it," he urged, entrusting her with the explosives he'd fashioned earlier from makeshift materials. He activated the nearby throwaway modules to amplify their connection to the EMP generating field. "Here goes," she said, throwing the homemade device with precision toward the pursuing drone. Time seemed to stretch as the small device soared, hitting its mark. There was a moment of silence before an explosive burst of energy radiated in all directions, surrounding them in a flash of brilliant light and white noise that swallowed the drone's buzz. Zynthar felt the shockwave pass through him as he stumbled backward but quickly regained his footing. The drone sputtered and fell, a cascade of sparks bursting in all directions before finally dropping. "Now," Zynthar shouted, powering through toward the other end of the chamber. The portal flared open up ahead, the tunnel leading out into the unknown. They raced forward, adrenaline driving them as they emerged outside into a bustling underground market packed with the rhythms of life. The noise, the colors, and the smell of human food flooded Zinthar's senses, sparking a whirlwind of thoughts about what lay ahead. "Where do we go now?" she asked, panting. "The plan remains the same: gather data, learn to keep understanding what we've begun," he replied, determination igniting within him. There was no retreat, only movement forward. As the sounds of the pursuit echoed behind them, Zynthar found himself at a crossroads, faced with a decision that could redefine everything. Would he delve deeper into Earth's complexities or retreat into the safety of his peaceful world? "Just let me know what you need," she urged, knowing their working partnership was going beyond mere survival. "A connection," Zynthar answered, confidence flowing through him. "We need to understand your world beyond this chaos." And with that, they stepped out into the market together, ready for whatever awaited them. The world was vast and chaotic, but it was a world he yearned to explore together. Zynthar and the young woman stepped out of the dark transit tunnel into a marketplace buzzing with life. Stalls lined the sides, filled with colorful fruits, handmade crafts, and the enticing aromas of street food wafting through the air. For a moment, Zynthar was overwhelmed by the sensory overload. He had thought he understood human culture, but this vivid tapestry of sights and sounds was something else entirely. "Are you all right?" she asked, noticing his hesitation. "We need to keep moving before they lock onto us again." "Yes, of course," Zynthar replied, shaking off the moment of distraction. "We should find a place to regroup and plan our next steps." The din of the market provided a sense of cover as they scurried past vendors who called out promotions and showcased their goods. Zynthar kept his senses heightened, aware of the potential threat still lingering behind them. "I'm Sofia," she said finally, glancing back to ensure they weren't being followed. "I don't think I caught your name earlier." Zynthar, he introduced himself, the name feeling more significant now that shared struggles had drawn them closer. "Thank you for your assistance. It is usual for my kind to observe rather than engage, but this experience has taught me the power of connection." A flicker of curiosity lit her face. "You're not from here at all, are you?" "No, I come from Qivara," he said, a change of tone grazing his voice. "What started as a study of human behavior has turned into something much deeper. I wanted to understand, but it seems this world operates on far more than observation alone." Sofia nodded, her appreciation illuminating her features. "This market is a great example. Every stall has its own story and each vendor connects with the people around them. Even if they're strangers, these moments create a shared experience." "Yes," he mused, complimenting her insight. True understanding requires more than data. I must be part of the fabric that weaves these stories together." They settled at the corner of a small cafe, a welcome respite from the chaos outside. As they sipped on chamomile tea, they exchanged ideas about the contrasting technologies of their worlds. Zynthar recounted tales of Qivara's harmonious existence where energy was derived from stars, while Sofia discussed artificial intelligence and how innovations were transforming humanity. "And we're just scratching the surface," Sofia remarked, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. "Today we mix and match technologies like recipes. You could bring in that knowledge from Qivara, it would change how we harness energy." Zynthar considered her words. Cross-pollination of ideas seems essential. It's steeped in collaboration and shared purpose. He paused, the realization adding weight to his thoughts. "My presence on Earth jeopardizes their safety. If the connection to my world leads to advanced technology without understanding, it could be catastrophic." "But what if you could help us develop it mindfully?" she proposed. "What we learned here, the connection we've shared tonight, could guide how we advance. It's not just about technology, it's about bridging our cultures." Zynthar felt a bond growing. Their alliance was shaping into something greater. He couldn't ignore how her perspective grounded his own. "Then, I must relay this to my kin." The topic brought a familiar weight of responsibility crashing back onto his shoulders. He needed to transmit data back to Qivara without inciting fear in the human population. Determined, Zynthar crafted a plan. They could create a relay using their combined knowledge, collaborating to send a series of coded transmissions to Qivara that conveyed the essence of humanity, their triumphs, joys, struggles, and intricacies. However, the longer he remained on Earth, the stronger his connection to Sofia became. He found himself reconsidering his original mission. Sending back interpretations of human culture was no longer just about data, it was personal. But in pursuing this personal connection, Zynthar knew he had to reveal himself to the Earth authorities before they enforced punitive measures against him. He had to make them understand he could be a conduit of peace and information. After a few days of plotting and data collection, they contacted Lisa Park, the government agent who initially pursued him. Zynthar reluctantly agreed to the meeting, knowing hesitation meant keeping their growing connection hidden. They arranged to meet at the same cafe where it all began. Zynthar stood outside, trying to steady his nerves. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Sofia asked, concern evident in her voice. "I need to face the reality of my presence here," he replied. "If I do not take these steps, misunderstandings will spiral out of control." The meeting unfolded awkwardly at first. Lisa was apprehensive, her eyes narrowing as she assessed the situation. "Why should we trust you, Zynthar?" she asked, skepticism lacing her tone. "Trust must be earned," he acknowledged, straightening his posture. "But I am no threat. I seek to share knowledge, not take away your safety." Sofia chimed in, "He's discovered what real connection means. In our collaboration, we found a way to bridge the gap between our worlds." Lisa's expression softened a fraction. "How?" Zynthar began to share the discoveries they had made, assets of human psychology and cultural variance woven with insights from Qivara's energy principles. The concepts of mindful technological development filled the air, glinting like sparks kindling in a dry woodpile. "I want to help, not just as an observer but as a participant in your progress," Zynthar said, conviction growing stronger with each word. As the three of them discussed possibilities, the unease in the air slowly morphed into genuine dialogues. Zinthar's visceral knowledge from Qivara aligned seamlessly with human emotional narratives, illustrating how technology should enhance rather than dominate. Over several heated discussions, ideas evolved into actionable plans and relationships strengthened. Lisa and Zynthar formed an unlikely partnership, establishing protocols for communication with Qivara that included updates on Earth's societal developments. Days turned into weeks, and as their alliance matured, Zynthar found profound changes within himself. Once an alien intrigued only by observation, he now felt an intrinsic responsibility to the people of Earth. His life's work expanded from gathering data to serving as a bridge between distant cultures. Eventually, the day arrived for Zynthar to transmit his findings back to Qivara. The setting was monumental, taking place within the very government facility that had initially radiated hostility. Alongside Lisa and Sofia, he configured the transmission equipment, loading every story and insight gathered in their time together. With a deep breath, Zynthar activated the transmitter. Data streamed across the screens, flooding the room with images of human passion, creativity, and connection. Stories of resilience and shared experiences poured forth as tranquil waves carried his message across the stars. As the connection anchored, he looked to Sofia and Lisa, both nervous yet excited. "This information is not just knowledge," Zynthar said gently. "It's a new beginning for us all." The lights flickered, and moments later, the transmission settled into a rhythmic pulse of bioluminescent colors. His kin would understand now. They would see the humans not as threats but as allies. Time marched forward. The family he had left, observing from afar, now saw a beautiful potential, a partnership grounded in mutual respect and understanding that he had helped to forge. The communication went beyond data-illustrated transformation. Zynthar understood there was no going back, and for the first time he felt at peace. He had found purpose within chaos, and their journey together solidified bonds transcending barriers. In the months that followed, Zynthar collaborated closely with human scientists and diplomats. Technologies advanced, symbiotic relationships flourished, and cultural innovations sprouted. The blending of Earth and Qivara was radical but grounded in unity. As Sofia leaned closer to him during a bustling trigger event of the new collaborative technologies showcasing, he smiled, buoyed by the depth they developed through their experiences. "Together we've made quite the team," she said, her voice laced with warmth that rippled through him. "Yes," he replied, the vibrant connection between their worlds enhanced by their journey. Together we weave a fabric of understanding that welcomes the unknown. The blend of his alien future and human present catalyzed an ever-evolving partnership. Zynthar thought back to that fateful can of energy drink. What had begun as a reckless choice transformed his existence, opening doors previously thought to be locked. In this new chapter, he no longer felt like an outsider. He was a bridge, a uniter, where knowledge flowed not just between worlds but through hearts and minds willing to connect. Together they aimed to face whatever unknown lay ahead, forging a path carved from understanding, respect, and shared stories rife with potential.